I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want, so I'll take it on. I've made mistakes, but mistakes make you strong.
Hi, I'm JB. In this video, we're going to take a close look at the idea of timing the market and if this is actually a good idea, and what it would take to time the market, and what are the consequences of timing the market. Spoiler alert, it's almost never a good idea. Notice here I said almost.
For pain. I mean, the stock market's a very good place to be, but I can toss a coin now. Is it going to be lower 2 years from now? Higher? I don't know. More people lost money waiting for corrections and anticipating corrections than the actual corrections.
There is a reason when Warren Buffett says the stock market is a device to transfer money from the impatient to the patient. If we didn't have these traders, the rest of us wouldn't have any to buy from and sell to. Let's look at the data. A great guy called Jeremy Schneider spent a lot of time combing through the stock market data for at least 41 years and made a fun story with it. This shows the data in a very simple way and gives us the insights in what can happen when trying to time the market consistently and how that would actually work out, at least previous times. There were these three girls, Tiffany Top, Brittany Bottom, and Sarah Steady. They all saved and invested in US stock market over the last 41 years, from 1979 till 2020. They each saved $200 of their income every month in all of these 41 years. Tiffany, Brittany, and Sarah all knew the value of buy and hold. Once they bought, they never sold, and they always reinvested their dividends. They had very different strategies about when to jump into the market, and after 41 years, they ended up with very different amounts based on their investment strategies. Tiffany Top and Brittany Bottom were aware that the stock market could be very volatile and they wanted to avoid market crashes. It turns out they were right. There were 5 significant market crashes during the last 41 years, as shown here. In 87, Black Monday crash. It took about 101 days and the drop was around 33%. Then again, 90, almost 87 days and almost 20% drop. And then again in 2000, 2002, almost 2 years, it was the dot-com bubble and it dropped almost 50%. Then came the financial crisis in 2007 to 9, a drop of almost 57%. And then again, the COVID crash in 2020 lasted 33 days and the drop was around 34%. So as you can see, those were all substantial drops and something that would hurt, let's say, a normal investor that's getting, 7% a year? Let's get back to the three girls. Tiffany Top invests at the top of the market. Tiffany, as it turns out, has the world's worst market timing. She saved her $200 a month. She put it in a savings account, getting 3% interest until the worst possible time. She started by saving for 8 years, only to put her money in at the absolute market peak in 1987, right before Black Monday, and the 33% crash came the next day. But she never sold and instead started saving her cash again, only to do the same at the next 5 market peaks. Each time she invested the full amount of her saved cash only to watch the market crash immediately after. Most recently, she put all her money in the day before the 2020 COVID crash, only to see it drop 34%. She's been saving cash ever since, waiting for the next market peak. With this perfect bad market timing, Tiffany still didn't do too bad. Her $99,000 that she saved and invested over the last 41 years is now worth $773,358. That's not bad. 99,000 becomes 773,000. Even though she invested only at each market peak at the worst possible time, her big nest egg is thanks to the power of compounding and buy and hold. Since she never sold, her investment always recovered and flourished as the market inevitably recovered, far surpassing her original entry point. That brings us to Brittany Bottom. She always invests at the bottom of the market. Brittany, in stark contrast to Tiffany, had a spidey sense for crashes. She also saved her money in a savings account, earning 3% interest, but she correctly predicted the exact bottom of each of the 5 crashes and invested all of her saved cash on those days. Once invested, she also held her index fund while saving up for the next market crash. It can't be overstated here how hard it is to predict the bottom of a market. In 1990, with war breaking out in the Middle East, Brittany decided to dump all her cash in when the market was only down 19%. But in 2007, the market dropped 19% and she didn't jump in until it fell all the way down to 56%. Once again, predicting the exact moment to put in her cash. It would fall no further and would be the perfect timing. Just in 2020, Brittany wisely waited until March 23rd to dump her savings into the market, buying at a 30% discount. Not before, not after, but exactly at the right time. For this impossibly perfect market timing, Brittany Bottom was rewarded. Her about $96,000 of savings has grown to $1,123,573. It's certainly an improvement over Brittany Bottom, and when comparing the absolute worst market timing versus the absolute best, the difference is actually only a 40% gain. Both Brittany and Tiffany have the vast majority of their growth thanks to buying and holding a low-cost index fund. But what about Sarah Steady? Well, Sarah was different from her friends. She didn't try to time the market. She didn't even look at the market. She didn't watch stock prices. She didn't listen to doomsday predictions. In fact, she only did one thing. On the day she opened her account in 1979, she set up a $200 monthly automated transfer and invest in an S&P 500 index fund. Then she never looked at her account again. Each month, her account would automatically invest $200 in her index fund. No matter what the price was, no matter what happened in the world, she invested every month as clockwork. She was invested at every market peak. She was invested at every market bottom. She invested in the first month. She invested in the last month. She invested in every month in between. Her money never sat in a savings account. It was always invested. When Sarah Steady was ready to retire, she signed up for online access to her account, since the internet had not been invented back then. She was very surprised with what she found. Her slow and steady approach had grown her nest egg to $1,620,708. Let's just take that again. $1,620,708. That's a lot. Even though she didn't have Brittany's perfect ability to know the bottom of the market, her steady investment crushed Brittany's by about $500,000. Well, these 3 girls aren't real. No one can perfectly predict the market top or bottom, but the numbers are real based on the exact returns of the S&P 500 and a 3% interest savings account over the last 41 years. If you need to see the data, I have put a link in the description for the spreadsheet with all the data in it. So, if you're worried if the market is too high and we're due for a crash, or you want to wait for the inevitable drop before you put your money in, think about this. Are you so good at predicting the market that you can do it better than Brittany, who knew exactly when to invest? Down to the exact day? And even if you are that good, you need to realize that it's still a losing strategy. I can tell you, over a long period of time, both Tiffany and Brittany had a lot of worrying and spent a lot of time listening to news, checking stock prices, reading everything. All the time they spent has an immense amount of value and could have been used a lot more profitable. Your time is worth money. You have so many other aspects of your life to look after, so how will you take the time out to time the market? So the ever-winning strategy is invest early, don't worry about inflation, interest rates, war, other things, doomsday sayers. Just let the money work for you, and given enough time, you will eventually win. 99% will do best this way. Put your money in a low-cost index fund, just automate your investment. Instead of looking for the needle in the haystack, just buy the whole haystack. And as always, the best investment you can make is in you. If you found some value in this, I hope you will give this video a like, maybe even subscribe to the channel and help me out a lot. And on that note, I will leave you for today. Have a nice one. Bye.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want, so I'll take it on. I've made mistakes, but mistakes make you strong. Let's break it down for a minute. I want the crown, I'm gon' get it. You hear me loud, man, I'm winning. Yeah, Charlie Sheen will be grinning. These ladies know that I'm sinning, and this is just the beginning. I'm closing in the night inning. There ain't no point in resisting. Living